Good morning guys, my name's Pip and I just want to talk to you this morning a bit about Module 2. So I've been in SFM for about a year and a half now. Now I have had a 9-month break because of life happening. I left my job due to various reasons and I've tried lots of different jobs this year. I've had about 10 different jobs since February, some self-employed, some not. And it's been very, very turbulent, but that's not the reason I'm here today. So talking back to you about Module 2. So this is a module that's been the most difficult for me. In my life, I'd always just gone through with things and I didn't really ever worry about it. And when I got to Module 2, they were like, know why you're here? And I was like, I don't really know why I'm here. I suppose, my main reason really was, as some of you may know, my father passed away about a year before I started, and being the exact kind of same blueprint and seeing where that led, I was like, that cannot be it for my life. I've got to make a change, and I really didn't know how. I was in a place where I kind of lost contact with a lot of friends. I'd moved to another country within the UK and kind of outgrown friends because obviously that had led me to very different experiences, and I had a lot of free time. Was a minimum wage, working 4 days a week. I had a lot of spare time in which I wanted to make more money, basically, because I was feeling like I couldn't afford anything, and so I didn't go out a lot. I didn't have any friends to go out with anyway, and I'm not really a going out person, and I just wanted a way to build on myself, and also to to make extra money, to have an ability to stand on my own 2 feet without going back to uni. I'd been to uni before. I lasted about a month. I'd had a lot of people die that year. I was not in a good place, and I quickly realised that the subjects that I'd opted for, which were geography and geology, I'm not sure they were really my passion, or exactly where it was leading to. I wanted to be a seismologist, basically, who is somebody who's basically saves lives by being able to predict earthquakes and volcanoes. And I think I was very discouraged in the first month. I don't think, uni is not a place where I don't feel your tutors particularly care for you. As long as you pay the money, they're not bothered. And it was very turbulent. As I say, I wasn't in a good place. Anyway, so going through this module 2, I'm just a type of person that I just want to sit at home and just not worry about things. And obviously in module 2 they're saying, where do you want to be, and things like that, and you kind of have this idea that it's got to be something more than that. I was like, oh Pip, that's not a big enough dream. You've got to have something more than that. And I was like, do I want to travel? And I'm really not a traveller. I don't think it would actually bother me if I never stepped foot outside of the UK ever again. I think that we've got a lot to offer in the UK anyway. There's loads of places in the UK that I haven't been to, and by the way, I live in a coastal area that's absolutely beautiful and it's got so much to offer. Why would I want to go anywhere else? As I say, I'm not a traveller in the first place. I love staying at home. So was it about the money? And I'm like, well, I've never been massively financially minded. I was living within my means, even though I was on minimum wage. I just wanted something to do with my time. I just wanted a sense of regaining particularly the confidence I'd left. I really didn't know who I was at the time, and I felt that a lot of people were really looking down on me and saying, well, you blew your chances of bedding at university. This is your life now, you have to lump it. And I got that kind of impression from a lot of close people, which is not helpful at all. And that can make you feel, very down on yourself, and it doesn't increase your confidence. And so for a long time I battled with this module, and I think, to be honest with you, the truth is everybody's dream is different. Look at all the people who've made it successful in the community. What does he do? Stuart's into his cars, right? Jay, from what I understand, spends a lot of time with his daughter and his family, and Dan Holborough, he spends a lot of time doing surfing and kind of his extreme sports. The lifestyle team, they do a lot of travelling, as do Greg and Fiona Scott. And Dan Holloway, I don't know what he really does with his time, but I know he gives a lot back to the community, and that he spends a lot of time doing that. And really, I suppose everybody's dream is different, and I'm not convinced, to be honest with you, that your dream has to be massive in a sense that it has to be outstanding in terms of how much it will cost or how extreme it is, the length of extremism. I think it just has to be big enough in terms of how much you really want it, like you want it really badly. And you know, I've tried so many times to say to myself, you know, what else do you want? What else do you want? And I really haven't found what that extra thing is. To be honest with you, it's just to be able to sit down with a nice cup of tea and not have to worry about anything. Just know that everything is open to me. I can do what I like. I can spend time with my family if I want to. But really just have that sense of peace and of calm, and of that I don't need to feel inadequate or down on myself or feel like I'm struggling or that I have too many things to juggle with. I just want that in my life, and I think that there is nothing wrong with that. I know we wrote down our ideal day in module 2. Since then, you know, I wrote about, to be honest with you, going back to my mum's and how that would feel, and there came a point, sort of, I suppose, early in the year where my mum turned around and she was like, you don't have to do that, I'm fine in my life, you live your life. And that really sort of crossed that straight off, because I was like, oh my gosh, my family, I was doing it for my family and my family don't need me to do this. Where does that leave me? And I was just in kind of no man's land. I was glad that my mum didn't feel like she was needing, and that she was sorted and she could sort herself out. I was really happy about that. But I was like, well, that's my purpose and the point of me being alive. You know, if I can't contribute to my family, what does that mean? And so it was quite hard. And really, I just think that if your vision is not travel, or is not to, I don't know, do something crazy like bring out your own movie, or to buy whatever the latest supercar is, I wouldn't even have a clue. I mean, to me, at the end of the day, you're still going to be stuck in a traffic jam. But you know, everything gives different people different amounts of pleasure. You know, some people may love being sat in a Jaguar in the middle of a traffic jam because that might make them feel really good. To just feel good about, you know, this is what I've achieved, and I feel like I can look upon myself with respect and dignity, and that might be what it is for people. Other people might just love the sense that maybe, you know, they want to be on a racetrack or something. They could go really fast. I don't really know. It's different for everyone. But if that is not your dream, I just want to let you know that that is okay, and that to have a dream, just to be at home, you know what, that's great, because you never know, once you achieve that, then you're you know, Tony Robbins talks about the blueprint. Your blueprint will probably change at that point, so that is okay. And I just wanted to share that with you. But all those who are going through this 90-day journey for the first time, and who are maybe struggling because, you know, getting to know yourself is really hard. I mean, I am so dynamic, to be honest with you. There's so many things I like to do, and so many things that I've never had the chance to try, or never, I suppose, have thought about to try, that you know, I don't really know who I am, and that's okay, because we are all works in progress. And you know, this is a massive learning curve. I've got a long way to go, but then again, I do look back and I think, well, you know, even over a year ago, I didn't even know what digital marketing was. You know, I've got a website now, I've got my own YouTube channel. Yes, it needs a lot of work doing, that's okay. I've tried a bit on Facebook, I've tried a bit on Instagram, I've tried lots of different jobs. I've left my job, which, if you just said that to me as an introverted person about a year before starting SFM, I wouldn't have had anywhere near the courage, because I had nothing. I felt I had absolutely nothing to give and nowhere else to go. I was so lucky to have a job, and I still believe that to this day. That I am lucky to have a job, and that I am lucky just to be in this journey, and at least to have the opportunity to go through the pain that is necessary to make so many mistakes and to become in time hopefully such a better person and a more aware person. So that's all from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.